Hi guys, we're back with another video on persuasive writing. Today we're going to focus on persuasive paragraph writing, not necessarily persuasive essays. If you'd like to check out persuasive essays, go ahead and look at our other videos. Once again, I'm Nicole Musarova. I'm a tutor at Our Shared Learning, a free tutoring program dedicated towards helping people during the pandemic that we're in. We were started solely for the goal of helping people who felt like they might have been falling behind or missing something when we went into distance learning and we're no longer receiving in-person learning. So today's focus is going to be persuasive writing, specifically paragraphs. So this is great for anyone, anywhere from like 3rd grade to 9th grade, right? Or even high school. Everyone needs to learn how to write persuasive paragraphs. Persuasive essays, you're more likely to write in middle school and high school, but anyone should know how to write persuasive paragraphs. Let me share my screen. All right, so the link to this document, which you can print out, there's a worksheet that you guys can fill out on your own. This will be linked in the comments, so feel free to check it out. We're just going to walk through this today, explain what everything means. If you guys would like a more in-depth video, just let me know. Or if you guys would want like a different example question, feel free to let me know. But we're just going to walk through this. So just a reminder, on pages 7 to 8, if you'd like to print it out, it's an outline that you can follow along with. Everything is color-coded, so go for it. So first off, whenever you are responding to a prompt, it's easiest to respond if it's in the form of a question. So for example, let's say we start with a prompt that says, evaluate your ability to become vegetarian. Well, an easy way of putting that into a question, evaluate usually means, would you be able to, or to what extent could you ever be a vegetarian? To what extent could you ever be a vegetarian, or could you be a vegetarian? Why or why not? So we already have the prompt in the form of a question. So let's first figure out how to answer it. Now, these aren't my answers. These are answers that a student of mine did when we filled it out together. So I'm just going to use that as an example, just because I think it's great to see normal people writing and not just me, you know, like this is a middle schooler who is just learning how to write, and they did great, you know, filling this out. So let's start off with, first, we figure out our answer to the question. It's a yes or a no question. Could you ever become vegetarian? This student's answer was no. So then what we do is we answer in the form of a sentence, right? So whenever we want to answer a question, we always want to answer in the form of a sentence for school. That's like a rule that we have to follow. So this student's answer was, no, I could never be a vegetarian. And they already put the word because over here they saw that that was part of our claim. Now, before you even start writing your claim, we figure out our answer and 3 reasons why. This student's 3 reasons why were, they love bacon, they didn't like the Impossible Burger, and they don't like salads. So those are just the 3 reasons that we already have. It's really good to brainstorm this before you try to start writing your claim. If you start writing your claim before you even have your reasons ready, it's going to be really difficult to have a well-written claim. So if you ever need a second, go for it. Just like take time, think of your reasons first, then write your claim. Sometimes you can write your claim first, but it's really difficult to make sure that it hits everything that you need to ace your essay or your paragraph. So next we're going to write our claim. The first part is always going to be the answer to the question, right? Which is our opinion, because persuasive writing inherently means that we are always going to have an opinion. So we first answer the question. So the student's answer, no, I can never be vegetarian, because now you guys can always rephrase your claim, but this is such a good outline to fall back on. This will always work, I guarantee it. I know it seems pretty cut and dry, but if you're desperate, this can always get you a good score. I guarantee it. Then we have our 2 to 3 reasons. So in this case, this student literally copy pasted it, and look, even though it seems pretty cut and dry, this student's claim should already receive full credit because it's hitting all that you need on the rubric. It's stating a claim, right? It's not just stating a fact, it's stating an opinion. It has reasoning, it's specific and detailed, and it's not really long or confusing. So all 5 of these are usually on a rubric, and this claim right here, this setup, basically guarantees that you're going to get every single point that you need on that rubric. Next, step 3, we're going to write our evidence and make sure that we explain it well. So first, what I always do is writing our evidence, right? So their evidence was basically the 3 reasons. When you have your persuasive paragraph, it's almost always going to be that your 3 reasons are basically your 3 pieces of evidence. Then we just need to analyze it, right? So explain each / analyze. So over here we have our 3 reasons. Then each of these reasons is built up in more detail. So anytime you have any vocabulary that you think, okay, I think almost everyone knows it. I don't care if you think every single person knows that vocabulary, you're going to need to explain what it is. If you mention bacon, if you mention the Impossible Burger, if you mention the Fountain of Youth, for all I care, I don't know, every single one of those should have a sentence dedicated towards explaining what that is. We need to assume that your reader does not understand everything the same way that you do. I guarantee that no teacher is ever going to take off points because you're explaining vocabulary. If anything, they'll give you extra points because you're being very careful and very detailed in your writing. Now, next up, after they explain all of this new vocabulary, right, after they explained all this new vocabulary, they explained why it was important. Why is it important that this student likes bacon? Why does it affect their ability to become vegetarian? Well, when you're vegetarian, you can't eat animals, so it would be really hard for this student to give up bacon by going vegetarian, right? So it's your analysis should always be talking about why is your evidence significant? And significant means why does it affect your answer? Why does this piece of evidence point you to answer the question one way or the other? Like if I asked you, what's your favorite ice cream flavor? And you said mint ice cream. And you said, well, it's green. Or sorry, turquoise or teal. I don't know what color it is. But let's say you said it was teal. That's one of the reasons why you love mint ice cream. Well, how does the color of ice cream affect your taste? Like why is it your favorite ice cream? Now, you could argue and say, well, the look of something affects how good it tastes, and I would totally understand, but you need to add that sentence in so your reader understands why this is important to you. Why is this reason important, and why does it change your answer? Why does it make your answer to the question, no, I can never be vegetarian? So our next step, once you've done this for every single piece of evidence that you have, what we're going to do is we're going to write our conclusion sentence, and sometimes you need a summary sentence. If, let's say you're writing a persuasive paragraph and your reasoning and your analysis and your evidence, so basically this entire middle part 1 and part 2, if that is all extremely long, then you're going to want a summary sentence where you just summarize maybe the biggest points that you made during your reasoning. Like if you're spending sentences and sentences talking about the power of smell or something, then you're going to want to summarize your supporting details in one sentence before your conclusion sentence to remind everyone of what you were just talking about. Then in your conclusion sentence, first, always have a transition word, because this transition word is going to signify to the reader that we are starting to wrap up. So it's a great signal for them, oh, we are wrapping up, time to really pay attention so I can understand what were the main points again, and I know that the conclusion sentence is coming up. I guarantee a transition word will never be lost on your teacher. They're always, like, that is always an amazing thing to do. Transition words can also be used throughout the paragraph if you feel like it. They're a really handy tool that we have. It's a great way to transition from one piece of evidence to another, in case you ever need it. And it's a great way for your teacher to understand when you're moving between points. And I guarantee no teacher will ever take off points for this. If anything, they'll add points, I promise you. That's just like my experience with it. I guarantee it's going to work. Then what we want to do is, after we pick a transition word, we want to rephrase our claim. So we rephrase what we were talking about before. The easiest way, I promise you, the easiest way to rephrase our claim is if, now we're gonna go to the whiteboard. Okay, so actually, yeah, so no, we're not gonna go to the whiteboard, sorry guys. Give me 1 second. Okay, so let's say we have, here's our claim, right? So we have our opinion / our answer to the question, then we have our 2 to 3 reasons. The easiest way to get a new conclusion sentence is to just swap the order. Instead of leading with our opinion, we end with our opinion, which reinforces what we're thinking, and we start with the 2 to 3 reasons. For example, instead of starting with, no, I could never be a vegetarian, we'd start off with, because I love bacon, excuse me, and because I love bacon, I don't like the Impossible Burger, and I don't like salads, I could never be a vegetarian. So it's the easiest way that we rearrange our conclusion sentence, where literally this stays here, you move this to the end, throw a comma in there, and then you're done. It's the easiest way to get a conclusion sentence. And the reason why it's really important that we have a different conclusion sentence than what we started with is because if our reader didn't understand our claim, then if we change up the way we're saying our claim in our conclusion sentence, it gives them another chance to understand it again. And I've had experiences where my teachers didn't, they got a little confused with my claim, and then because I rephrased my conclusion sentence, they were like, oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense, and still gave me full credit, even though my claim was a little confusing, because I made an effort to rephrase it and try to make it easier to understand. I guarantee it is a need to do checklist where you rephrase your claim. Never copy paste it unless you're absolutely desperate. That should be a last resort. And then once you're done, all you have to do is put it all together, and right away you have an amazing persuasive paragraph. If you guys need to, you can print out this outline. It is all ready to print. It's color coded. If you don't have a colored printer, no worries. You can keep this on your screen, printed black and white, just fill it out. And if you look, it is already every single thing that we just went through. Each step is has it broken down, and you can literally just fill this out by hand, and there's space for your own writing. If you guys have any questions or anything you guys want me to know, feel free to comment below. Check out other videos if you guys need help writing. Thanks for watching. Let me know if there's anything I need to change, and the link to the outline will be in the caption, so feel free to check that out. Thanks, guys. Once again, this is Nicole from Our Shared Learning. I'm a tutor for this program that works to tutor during the pandemic. Let us know what subjects you guys need help with, and we'll make YouTube videos to help you guys out. Thanks. Have a wonderful day.